Welcome to the Bite-Sized Storytelling Show, brought to you by Commaful.com, where we bring you techniques, advice, and stories that will help you on your writing journey. Without further ado, please give a warm welcome to our special guest.
Hello, Commaful folks, and thank you for letting me be here today. My name is Valerie Clarizio, and I'm a USA Today Bestselling author. I've published a combined 13 romance novels and novellas, and I have both traditionally published and I have self-published. Today we're going to talk a little bit about POV, point of view in novels. Most novels contain more than one POV. In a contemporary romance novel, you will generally have the POV of the hero and then the heroine. If you write romantic suspense or mystery, you can add the POV of the villain. There are guiding principles for POV. First and foremost, you must stay in the head of the character you are in until you do a proper handoff to another character, meaning no head hopping. Head hopping will confuse the reader and knock them out of the story. As a writer, you show POV through character senses. If the characters whose POV you are in can't see it, hear it, smell it, taste it, then your reader shouldn't be able to either. And when writing, you need to stay in character. If your character wouldn't think it, then you can't say it that way. Sometimes when I develop characters, I mimic them after a person I know. So say I'm writing a sensitive male character. I pin someone I know onto that character when writing his dialogue and reactions to things. When something happens to that character, I think to myself, what would John say or do? And if John wouldn't say or do it, it doesn't happen, and it doesn't get said that way. Pinning a person I know onto a character helps me stay consistent with that character. Then there's deep POV. Deep POV is what brings your character to life. You're writing from the character's head, their heart, their soul and body, and it pulls the reader in there with you. It's about making the reader care more about your characters and know and understand that character inside and out, and sometimes even your secondary characters. So how do you accomplish deep POV? There's several techniques that we'll talk about. The first technique is dialogue. I touched on this already. So what I want to say here is make sure your dialogue always sounds like your character. Stay consistent. Non-consistency will knock your reader out of the story, ruining the flow for them. And then you can use dialogue to offer clues as to who your character is. If they're excited, show excitement. If they're not saying something or hiding something, hint at it, show it. The next technique is internal thought. Like real-life people, characters don't always say what they think, but there's a lot rolling around in their heads. So it's a good idea to scatter internal thought throughout your pages to keep the reader's curiosity going. And you need to make sure your internal thought is insightful, hinting to the reader more about your character. Another technique is using emotion. If you can master through actions and descriptions that your character cares deeply, your reader will care deeply. Carrying the character's tension, turmoil, pain, love throughout the story will cause the reader to develop a deeper connection to that character. Once that reader has that connection, they will be invested in that character and they will flip the pages to see what happens next. They will think about your characters long after they finish the book, as if the characters are real people, and then they'll find themselves wondering, what are those characters up to? Another technique is to use a little bit of past and backstory. Everybody has a past, which means your characters do too. Pasts involved family, friends, ex-lovers, tragedies, triumphs, failures, and best of all, secrets. These things contribute to lessons learned or not learned by the character. It molds the characters and are the reasons they act and speak the way they do. Using the past in the story helps you grow your character, and you can show that growth to your readers, who will then develop a stronger connection and a deeper connection to that character. The last technique we'll talk about for a moment is setting and descriptions. Using setting is a great way to get to know your characters better. You need to describe things only your character would see using descriptive words only he or she would use. This will help show your character's internal makeup and allow the reader to get to know them better. And then again, they will develop a more personal connection to that character. I'm guessing by now you've seen a theme here: personal connection to the characters in your book. If you can get the reader to develop a deep personal connection to your character, they will flip those pages to see what happens next, and they will think about your characters long after they finish your book, and this will make them pine for your next book. Well, that's all I have today for POV. If you'd like to learn more about me or my books, you can find me at www.valeriejclarizio.com. And then here's a quick peek at my most recent novel, which is a time travel. This is my first time travel novel, so I'm pretty excited about it. It just came out on March 17th. So anyhow, I invite you to take a peek at this, and thank you so much, Commaful, for allowing me to be here today. Have a great day.
If you found this interesting, be sure to like, subscribe, and give a special thanks to our volunteer instructor. Reviews and likes really go a long way and help us provide more awesome writing resources to the Commaful community. If you aren't on Commaful yet, you can join a community of poets, short story authors, and fan fiction writers on Commaful.com.